Sarah Silverman, and a television show, Curb Your Enthusiasm. We'll be watching the Palestinian Chicken Show. Um, week 6, we're going to really delve into video games and particularly ancient Greece. There is quite a bit of heavy reading that week, so I only did one video game for us to look at, and that's God of War. And then you'll see the other reading that I assigned you, which is 2 chapters out of the textbook. Week 7 will be fandom. This is kind of the what we might call religious groups that form around certain pop culture works. We have an article on that in Understanding Religion. And then we're going to look at the Jedi Church website, which is Star Wars Devotees. And then we're going to read the Du De Ching, which is based off the Tao Te Ching, the ancient Taoist text, but is appropriated within the context of the movie The Big Lebowski by what's come to be known as the Church of Latter-day Dude. If you've seen the movie, you would understand why. But we'll go over that when we get there. Week 8 is voodoo, and this is right before the fall break, so it's half a week. You'll notice there is no other responses to other students due that week, but I will have a prompt. And we're going to be watching The Princess and the Frog. No readings that week. And then when you come back from fall break, we have another half a week. We'll be reading an article, kind of continuing our exploration of humor, an article on Richard Pryor. And then we'll be watching a pop culture work from the early 1980s, I believe. Richard Pryor's stand-up live on Sunset Strip. Again, you won't have to respond to other students that week, but you will have to respond to my prompts. And then there'll be a journal due that's going to cover both voodoo and humor on 10/21. The next week is on Buddhism. We're going to be reading a portion of Edward Said's book, Orientalism, which I will provide that portion for you. Same thing with the Freud. And we'll be watching a TLC music video called Unpretty, which is from, I believe, the early 2000s, and watching the film Shaolin with Jackie Chan, which is a 2011 film. We're going to be looking there at the difference between American portrayals of Buddhism and Chinese portrayals of Buddhism. Week 11 is Samurai. We're going to read a short article kind of explaining the philosophy of the samurai. And then we're going to watch an episode of Samurai Jack. And then the film, a Japanese film, 13 Assassins. Make sure you get the 2010 film, which is a remake, but we're going to watch that one, not the one from 1960s. Week 12, we're going over depictions of Satan and the devil. We'll be reading about horror films. We'll be listening to a group of songs throughout the 20th century dating as far back as 1936 up to the 1970s that have portrayals of the devil and exploring those. And then we'll be watching the film Devil, horror film. Next, we have week 13, Veterans Day, so the schedule's changed again. We're studying digital religion. We'll read an article about that, and then we're going to read an article about the Russian Pirate Church, which is a digital religion. It's all online. And then the Universal Life Church, which is a website where you can get ordained, actually. We won't be hosting ordinations, of course, but you'll be able to see that you can do it online. Week 14, we're covering Facebook and religion. We'll be reading an article from a Christian author speaking to other Christians about the use of Facebook. This is going to lay the stage for us looking at Facebook pages of a lot of different religions that we're going to be covering. And then lastly, our last full week, it looks like, we'll be reading and looking at some works regarding the Illuminati. And that's the week of Thanksgiving also, so the schedule has changed. But that's when we'll be reading Angels and Demons and Eyes Wide Shut. Now, Angels and Demons is a rather large book. Dan Brown has it's a thriller, so he has a very easygoing reading style. So it shouldn't take you as long as it might look. Although your month before that is going to be pretty light reading, so I recommend that you actually read Angels and Demons during that month, and I'll send out an email to kind of remind you of that, so that when we get to it, we can discuss it. Because um, Eyes Wide Shut is a very long movie, also, and so your heaviest kind of weeks in terms of reading and watching things are week 2 and week 15. So just prepare for that. I would actually start reading the Christopher Hitchens book right now, so you're prepared for next week. And I'm going to post the lectures for that early, the first day of class. Last week we're going to do What Did You Learn, and you're going to work on the final project. There'll be no points that week, and then the final project will be due December 11th, 2013. And these are the works that I felt best accomplished the goals of the course. Certainly, there are certain, I guess, cultures and religions that are not on the syllabus, unfortunately. The two I'm thinking of is Catholicism and the different types of Catholicisms in the U.S. and around the world, and then Hinduism. So if any of you have any knowledge in those areas, then I definitely encourage you to bring it to the table as we are doing our discussion questions, and as I ask you to find pop culture works that fit the theme of the week and that kind of thing. Anyway, if you have any questions, let me know in the hallway conversations, and take a look at the lecture for week 2, which I'm going to be posting early so that you can get started on the reading of God Is Not Great. All right, thanks.